Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a little health and wellness chat. I asked you guys over on my Instagram, what is the main thing that you personally struggle with when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle? I know I have my own little things that I kind of struggle with. I thought it would be cool to just ask you guys what you struggle with, and maybe I've been through that. Maybe I can offer some advice to you guys. And your responses were so great. Thank you for everyone who left a comment. And there were definitely some major themes, and I've compiled them here in this video. I have 5 main topics that I'm going to discuss. I hope that you guys will enjoy this video, find it helpful, and let's get started. One of the main things that you guys asked a lot about was sugar cravings, and especially emotional eating or stress eating, especially during this time of year as well, when it starts to get a little bit colder. Comfort food and like sweets, I mean, I feel you. This is something I can totally relate with. I have a huge sweet tooth. Something that works really well for me is when I increase the amount of greens that I'm eating in the day. So leafy greens, vegetables. I love making a green smoothie in the morning with spinach, with kale, with cucumber or celery, and that will help to balance your blood sugar levels, and it will help you to crave less sweets during the day. Plus, you get all the benefits of the greens as well. I think it's really good to get it in first thing in the morning after you've done your water or your lemon water. It really sets you up for the day, and I think when you start your day with a green juice or a green smoothie, it almost makes you want to do something really healthy for the next meal and the next meal. So you set yourself up to have a really good start. I also make it a habit to have some greens with every single meal that I'm having. So if I'm having pasta, I'll make half pasta, half greens. It doesn't have to be a salad like a spinach or a leafy green. It can be cucumber, celery, any type of veggies, broccoli. Just try to aim for half of your plate being some type of green or vegetable, and then have your pasta, have your other, comforting foods, your sweet potatoes, rice, quinoa. But having those greens on the side is so beneficial. Plus, you'll get to enjoy all the yummy stuff, but still get in your nutrients and your vitamins. I also noticed that I have more cravings for sweets and desserts and stuff if I'm not really full. Keeping myself full and satiated after every meal also really helps me with sugar cravings, because I don't feel like I'm trying to reach for things and fill my hunger with something unhealthy. So eating lots of fiber and healthy fats is really good for keeping you full and satiated for longer than if you were to eat something processed. It's going to slow the release of glucose into the bloodstream, which is going to help to keep your blood sugar levels stable, your insulin levels in check, which is also going to lead to less inflammation in the body. And inflammation is no good. It's not good for the skin. It's not good for your heart. So pretty much all plant-based foods are really rich in fiber, which is also going to be really good for your digestion. When you have that natural fiber moving through your digestion, it's going to keep your tummy flat, and that's going to make you feel really good, and that's going to affect your mood as well. So I think that if you're eating healthy and you have a good digestion, it naturally lowers the stress in your body. And if you are stressful, if you don't feel good, you are more likely to eat unhealthy and to reach for the bad things to kind of soothe yourself. Now, on the topic of sugars and cravings, I don't think that sugar cravings are always a bad thing. We are designed to crave and look for sugary foods, but the right type of sugar. So sugars from fruit. One of the main fuels for our human body is glucose. So everything that you eat actually gets turned into sugar. But there's a huge difference between processed sugar that you find in cookies and donuts and unhealthy things versus natural sugars that are found in fruit. And all of our senses in our body are attracted to fruit. The smell, the taste, the look of a fruit, the colors are beautiful. Fruit not only has the sugar, which is going to taste really good to you, it also has fiber, water, vitamins, antioxidants. It's a whole package. Whereas sugar that's found in, donuts or cakes and cookies and stuff, that is processed sugar. That is sugar that's been extracted from something and put into something completely different. So those cookies and things, they're not a whole food. It doesn't come with the whole package that sugar was supposed to be eaten with in the first place. So I love fruit. I think it's so good for the body. Some of my favorite fruits are apples, grapes. I love mangoes and berries and watermelon and just so many beautiful different types of fruits. There are some that are more concentrated in sugar with less water. So for example, bananas and dates. And I do find that they can sometimes aggravate my skin because of the higher sugar content and the less water. So I don't eat those too often. I'll have a couple of bananas per week, but I don't like eat them too much. So I do love fruit, but something else that I'm a huge fan of is chocolate. But I will reach for dark chocolate. So anything above 85%. I'm in the phase right now where I'm having like a square or sometimes 2 squares of dark chocolate in the evening. Again, like an 85% or higher amount. And I have that with some tea, and it is just delicious. So just to recap, for sugar cravings, I would recommend to eat more greens, leafy greens, vegetables. Make sure that you're satiated, so eat lots of good fiber, good fats, healthy protein like quinoa, black beans. Kind of related to this topic was the struggle of overeating or emotional eating, or eating when you're stressed. This is something that I personally struggle with sometimes, but I try to be mindful of it. So I ask myself, have I eaten breakfast? Have I had lunch? Have I had dinner? So I might actually just be hungry, but if I know that it is from an emotional upset or a stress, I look for other ways to soothe myself and to de-stress. So I will either go and take a really nice shower, or I'll go for a walk, I'll go to the gym just to kind of like get my stress out. I might call a friend or my mom and just like talk it out. And something else that I love to do, which you guys might know, is to write or to journal. Just writing and having a place to express yourself and just to get your emotions out onto paper can be so therapeutic. And you don't even have to make it sound like anything. You just write whatever comes to mind. Don't judge yourself. You don't even have to look at what you wrote, but just to get it out of your system can be so helpful in managing your emotions, which can then prevent you from going and binging on something else. I know that it might be difficult in the beginning to choose another way of dealing with your emotions, but it's going to be so rewarding and so amazing feeling to know that you did something better for yourself. I do have some other videos kind of talking about the stuff that I do for my emotional well-being, for like organizing myself and my thoughts. I will leave any corresponding videos or other videos that I think might be helpful in addition to what I'm talking about today below in the description box. The second struggle that I saw that you guys wrote about a lot is that healthy food is more expensive. A way that I like to think about this is that you either pay now or you pay later. So you either pay now and you get that really good food and you get all the benefits of the really good food, so you look amazing, you feel amazing, or you pay later by dealing with the issues that that bad unhealthy food can bring you. So with diseases, with sicknesses and illnesses, in medical bills, in medicines and pills and therapy even. I think we're all worth the investment of maybe paying a little bit more to get really good food, because it's going to improve the quality of your life. It's not only going to improve the way that you look, how your body looks, how your skin looks, your hair looks, but also how you feel, your emotional well-being. That is truly one of the keys and one of the most important things in life, is to feel good. And food is a huge part of that. Not just food, but also, you know, lifestyle, how you move your body, exercise, taking care of yourself in general. And I think we're all worth that investment. We have one life and we should live that life as awesomely and amazingly as possible. And I definitely think that if you're feeding yourself right, you're giving your body the energy and the building blocks to make a really good functioning human body, both emotionally and physically. But with all that said, I personally don't eat very complicated foods. I eat really healthy, but I don't like overcomplicate it. So I wouldn't say that I spend like an extortionate amount of money on food. I eat really simple. I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. I eat a lot of quinoa, vegetables, and just simple basic things that are not that expensive. I don't buy processed things or packaged things too often that could be more expensive. So I think it's also about like not complicating things too much, just eating simply. It also makes it a lot easier to prepare foods when you're just putting like 2 or 3 ingredients together. So for example, quinoa with some broccoli, some avocado, some mushrooms. That stuff is not that expensive and it's really satiating. It makes you full. So don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. The third struggle that you guys seem to write a lot about was time, and that you don't always have the time to prepare yourself something healthy. You're on the go a lot. You're in a rush. And when it's actually time to eat, you're just so ravenous and so hungry that you just want want something quick and easy. Again, this is something that I can relate a lot to. And sometimes I am really tempted to just order something or just to go to a restaurant or maybe not eat something that's super healthy. But I know by now how that's going to make me feel. And I know that sometimes it's okay, but if it's, you know, too often, I have to catch myself and say, Annie, no, we're gonna prepare something, we're gonna listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook, and put the love into making food. So I think it's all about prioritizing what's important for you. So if you have to wake up earlier to, you know, get a really good breakfast in or to prepare lunch for yourself, you have to plan better. We all have the same amount of time in the day. There's this quote, something like Beyonce also only has 24 hours in the day. So we're all given the same time, but it's up to us how we use it and what we see as important or not important or what is a priority. And for me, a healthy lifestyle is a priority because I know that if I slip up, I know what's on the other side of not living a healthy lifestyle, and I definitely don't want to go back there. I know that it's also not good for my skin, and if my skin goes too crazy, I am just a mess emotionally and I'm not productive, I'm not happy. And so I want to avoid stress on my body so that I can also function and be happy and be productive and do the things that I want to do. And that all starts with living a healthy lifestyle. And it kind of goes back to the previous point also of keeping things simple, not overcomplicating things. You don't always have to make some masterpiece of a recipe with lots of different ingredients. Most of the time when I eat, as you guys can see from my vlogs and my what I ate today's, it is really simple, basic. You don't have to be a pro chef. You just need some good, solid, like 3 to 4 ingredients like sweet potatoes, quinoa, veggies, greens, beans, or chickpeas, or whatever it is. Throw them all together, either make it in a salad or just kind of like a bowl, like a warm bowl of veggies. Throw some tomato sauce on top of that, a little bit of spices, and you have yourself a meal that you can feel really good about, and it didn't take you a lot of time. So keep it simple and prioritize yourself. Know that you are worth it and that it's going to make you feel really good, and just make time for it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you will find time for that. And that doesn't just come to food. It comes to working out, or, you know, going after your dream job or your career, or prioritizing your mental well-being and showing yourself love. I do have a video where I go into this in more detail. It's called My 3 Tips for Success. I will have that linked below. The 4th topic that you guys struggled with a lot is motivation and finding the inspiration to keep staying on track and keep staying healthy, even if you're not seeing the results immediately. I think for this, it's really important to know the why. So why are you doing this? Remind yourself of that. For me, one of my biggest whys is, of course, like feeling good emotionally and mentally, but another huge why is for my skin. You guys know my skin is super sensitive to both internal things that I eat and also external, so like the products that I'm using and stuff. I sometimes feel like my skin is like my little baby. I have to take care of it. If not, it's going to go wild and crazy. So it's actually been kind of like a blessing in disguise, I think, to be so sensitive to different foods, that it's really made me prioritize living a healthy lifestyle so that my skin can be normal and beautiful and glowing. Your why could also be to have a better digestion. It could be to have more energy, to have more mental clarity. Maybe it is to lose weight and get really fit and feel really good in your body. And sometimes it's just important to remind ourselves why we started, and know that if you continue on this way for, you know, a good amount of time, it is going to happen. There is no other way. You are going to reach that goal. It's just about being persistent and having the discipline, and I think the courage also to keep doing what it is that you need to do. I think a lot about motivation is also about the environment that we have around us. So what we're listening to, what we're watching, what we're reading, even who we're following on social media. Is that a representation of what we want to be? Are we watching and consuming things that are making us better people, that are keeping us inspired? Or are we watching like fear-based programs and TV shows and negative news, and maybe following or surrounding ourselves ourselves with people who are actually not that positive and who bring us down. So it's really important to identify those areas, which might seem quite small, but in the long run, we become and we reflect our environment. So make sure that you are feeding yourself positivity, listening to good audiobooks or podcasts or just videos on YouTube, keeping that inspiration and that positivity up. It's not just going to be really good for your mental well-being, but it's also going to encourage you to stay healthy, to stay on track, because that is the natural way of a positive life. When we feel good, we want to do good things for our body. So I think it's also about, adjusting little things in our environment that can help us and kind of like motivate us to keep going. And that also goes for, what's in your kitchen. So don't have stuff around if you're just new to this. Like, don't keep, sweets and things in your kitchen that you're going to eat. I'm quite specific on this topic. There are like a few things that I can keep in my kitchen, but if Mo wants to like bring some sweets or cookies or whatever, I will literally ask him to bring it with him to work or something, because if it's here, my strength of like resisting is still, I struggle with that. So I just don't want to have stuff in my kitchen that I know that I would eat or reach for if my barriers are lowered. So keep lots of fresh fruit, lots of veggies, and things that are just easy to prepare and to make, so that when you go to your kitchen and you're hungry, there are lots of good options for you to choose from. Another tip that I try to practice also is just to sometimes take the emotion out of the task. Sometimes you just have to tell that little voice in your head to quiet down and to just do it. Before you even have time to think about what it is that you're gonna have for breakfast, just make yourself a green smoothie, make yourself some oatmeal. You don't always have to give so much importance and power to your thoughts or to that like negative voice in your head. You have to be bigger than that. And I think that also comes down to having some type of discipline in your routine or in, your goals and what you want to achieve. This also comes really handy with exercise and working out, going to the gym. We don't always feel like exercising. It's normal. Before you have time to moan and like think about excuses in your head, just go for it. Put your workout clothes on, get in the car or get on your bike. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. And that's a surefire way of you getting some movement in. And before you know it, you're drinking that green smoothie, you're eating that healthy food, you are sweating on the treadmill or dancing around in your dance class or in your spinning class or whatever it is. So yeah, just taking the emotion out of it and having that discipline is going to get you really, really far. And then the fifth struggle or challenge that you guys wrote a lot about is the social aspect of eating healthy and being in social situations or family gatherings or moments around people where you feel like you might be judged for eating a certain way, and how to overcome that. So firstly, I think it's totally fine to indulge and to treat yourself from time to time. One unhealthy meal per week or a treat or a dessert or something, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to make a huge difference in your body. It is what you do day in and day out, like 80 to 90% of the time, that is going to have an effect on how you look and how you feel. So I do have like a healthy balance and a healthy flexibility when it comes to that, especially with traveling. It's not always that easy to eat, super clean, but when I do have the choice and when I am making food for myself, I always try to make it clean and healthy. So then if I am in a social situation or a setting where maybe I can't get something healthy, or maybe, a friend or a family member has prepared something to eat, I can eat that and enjoy it without feeling like I'm always eating unhealthy. But also, with that said, I would say to not be afraid of being yourself. Don't think that everyone around you has to love and accept what you're eating or even what you're doing with your life. As long as you're happy and you know why you're doing what it is that you're doing and you're doing it for a good reason, then that should be all that matters. Those people are going to go home and you're going to go home and you're going to be left with how you're feeling, and that's way more important than what somebody else thinks about you. And who knows, you might even inspire somebody else by eating a certain way, choosing better options, and just being yourself. You don't even have to talk about it so much. Just choosing, healthier options. You never know who you're going to inspire. Somebody else might think like, oh, hey, I never thought of ordering that dish or bringing this snack with me, or, choosing whatever it is. You might actually inspire them to do the same. Don't be afraid to be yourself, to shine your light, to do what you think is good for you. This goes for your career and what you want to do in life. I think that so many people, especially with, you know, what I'm doing as well, I have been judged before. People think that, oh, what, she films videos in her apartment and she has a career out of that. How is that possible? And a lot of people made fun of me in the beginning and they kind of like mocked me, but I'm here now and I'm living this amazing life. I have a career that I love and I have you guys who support me and who love me, and I love you guys so much. So yeah, it all works out, but you have to stay true to yourself. So don't let social pressures and things like that get to you, because you need to be strong within to succeed in this world and to do the things that you want to do. And living healthy and, you know, making healthy food choices is just one of those things. So if you can strengthen that area, then maybe you can strengthen that muscle, that confidence muscle in other parts of your life as well. So those are the 5 main topics or struggles that I read from you guys' comments. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful and that maybe some of my advice or my stories or experiences can help you. Remember that we only get one life, so why not live it to the most fullest, amazing, awesome, beautiful possibility that we can. And I definitely think that treating yourself right by eating healthy and exercising and just living a mindful and positive life, that is goals. Like, that is, I think, one of the main and special, most beautiful things about life, is to really like get the most out of it. And I think if we go through life feeling really good in our bodies and loving ourselves, even if we're not 100% perfect, there are still things in my body that I wish I could change and that, you know, I would have a little bit different, but so what? Let's make the most of what we have and encourage ourselves and motivate ourselves. And there are so many amazing tools online, like so many good videos and books and inspirational things that you can just feed your mind. And if you believe that you can do something, if you have that positive energy around you, you can do anything. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I will have links below for corresponding videos, for recipe videos. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah.